This video is brought to you by Squarespace. In just over 1 year, Liverking went from 0 followers online to almost 6 million, pushing an inspiring message that we need to return to our natural primal selves. And most importantly, eat liver.
Cheers. So the name is Liverking because liver is king!
Liverking has become a walking billboard for his many successful companies that he claims has earned him an estimated $100 million per year. However, on November 28th, 2022, a bombshell was dropped.
Leaked emails, blood test results, and a full steroid cycle breakdown.
I'm making this video to apologize because I f***ed up.
Just look at him and think, probably not natural.
Surprised how many people believe this bullshit.
This guy understands that sensationalism sells.
On the 18th of August 2021, Liverking would post his first ever video to Instagram as an introduction to this very unique looking and behaving man. More and more videos would be posted by the Liverking, showing his grueling exercise routine, his very unique diet of raw liver and other organ meat.
While this isn't the most delicious snack, it is sure as hell nutritious.
His absurd action man physique, all under the claim that this was all achieved by following the 9 ancestral tenets.
Sleep, eat, move. Shield, connect, cold. Sun, fight, and put down the goddamn phone and bond.
Almost instantly, he went viral after posting 31 videos throughout September. By as early as October 31st, he'd already hit 500,000 followers on TikTok. So how was this guy doing all of this? With seemingly no social media presence prior, how was he churning out so much content that he knew would do well in the algorithm? Was there a team behind him? Who was Liverking?
One way or another, you're going to suffer. So you can choose to get your ass in the gym.
On March 15th, 2022, we would see the first ever long-form podcast of the Liverking, hosted by Carnivore MD, titled The Liverking Podcast with Brian Johnson, aka Liverking.
So without further ado, Brian Johnson, as you guys know, Brian Johnson is Liverking. He's the real deal, guys. He's an amazing human.
So it appears for us to truly understand who the Liverking is today, we need to look at who Brian Johnson is, or was.
My fucking barbarian broke out of that cage and he fucking ate Brian Johnson. That guy's fucking dead.
Before we go any further with this video, I want to give a massive shout out to Squarespace for sponsoring. Squarespace is the #1 platform for building and developing your own website. Doesn't matter what you do, maybe you're a graphic designer or a fitness trainer, Squarespace is a quick and easy platform to help you build a website that can grow your business. With tons of templates to choose from, you can customize them to fit exactly what it is you do. As well, it has a ton of built-in tools like email marketing, appointment scheduling, and members-only content. I'm currently making a website. I can't really tell you exactly what it is, but honestly, I'm actually enjoying the process of making my own website. Squarespace just makes it fun and enjoyable to do. So be sure to check out squarespace.com/JimmyTheGiant. And to get 10% off your first purchase of a website or a domain, use the code JimmyTheGiant. Anyway, back to the video. Born April 7th, 1977, Brian Johnson grew up in Texas. And from as early as elementary school, Brian Johnson was a natural salesman and entrepreneur.
I had a friend, Peter, who said, hey, you want to go sell newspapers with me? And I remember Peter's first pitch, you know, he knocked on the door and it was, excuse me, ma'am, you currently subscribe to the San Antonio Light. We just would like for you to renew your subscription. All you have to do is pay for Sunday. Like, oh, hey, you caught me. This isn't going to work out. You know, we're not going to renew. And then Peter said, well, ma'am, would it be okay if I just got a glass of water? She would invite us in. We're little kids. And you'd say, hey, man, we're just trying to make a couple of bucks. Think you could help us out? And almost all the time, it worked out. Wow.
He started to take life and himself more seriously. He went from failing in school to going to Texas Tech University, getting a 3.92 GPA, getting an academic scholarship, and doing an undergraduate thesis in biochemistry. From this, Brian landed his first very serious job. A pharmaceutical company contacted him about becoming a salesman. By just age 21, Brian was making $100,000 per year. Shortly after, he met his now wife, Liver Queen, and the pair of them set up their own dentist practice. In just 5 years, they were turning over $5.2 million per year. Life was going pretty good for Brian Johnson, but then disaster struck.
My kids couldn't breathe, right? They turned blue. Like, you give them an EpiPen, it starts to help a little bit, but you don't even know how it happened or how it's going to come back. This is my why in the world. Like, we figured this out. It was my fault. It was what I was feeding them. And I went to every doctor.
What did you feed them?
I fed them the standard, the traditional American diet.
Brian claimed in an interview with GQ that they went on to cut out all processed foods. They cut out all liquid calories, seed oils, and switched over to whole foods, chiefly liver and bone marrow. And according to Liverking, the boys' health drastically improved.
Predominantly, we just started with eating. We returned them back to nose to tail eating. The light bulb came on, right? A personality was expressed that we never knew they had, right? This is my why in the world. Right, this is why I do this stuff.
Brian had now entered this kind of alternative lifestyle community. Any health fad or trend he would do and turn him up to the absolute max. And there was one underlying belief he started to form. That was that nature equals good, and the more that we live like our ancestors, the better.
The 6 tribes that I've gone and visited with, I've tried to assess and figure out, is there depression? Is there anxiety? Is there infertility? Are there autoimmune conditions in these tribes? And it seems non-existent.
After seeing how successful this diet was on his children, he wanted to spread the message to the world. By 2017, he had started a website called ancestralsupplements.com. The website was very simple, and it sold supplements that basically took things like liver and other organ meats and put them into less offensively tasting supplements. However, in my research, I started to notice that here was where things didn't quite add up. The Ancestral Supplements website tells us that the story of Liverking's children happened at somewhere around 2004, which is weird because in his interview with GQ, he tells us his children were 13 and 15. If his children were born around 2004, that would make them about 18 years old. So it does bring some doubts to the origin story of Liverking. However, to give him the benefit of the doubt, this could just be a typo, or a forgetful dad. In 2017, they started a Facebook page, but it would be in 2018 where we'd see the first ever use of the name Liverking. In 2019, he had started the website liverking.com, where when you read closely, it claims that he had lived like this for 20 years, where we know that he was a sales rep, so presumably he was turning up to meetings barefoot. On top of that, the whole reason he states that his children got ill was for feeding them the standard American diet and junk food. So it seems a little dubious that he'd been living like this for 20 years. But something would happen in that same year of 2019. For some reason, the Ancestral Supplements Facebook page didn't post a single thing, despite being very active prior. It makes me think that in this time they came up with this strategy. They took the nickname that Brian had, which was the Liverking, and probably looked to the history of marketing mascots. From the Quaker Oats man to the Michelin man to Mr. Clean, and they realized they could build their own mascot. Instead of just a cartoon, it was a real-life 3D superhero.
Thank you for coming all the way from India to visit with the Liverking. The name is Liverking because liver is king. All right, now we gotta get a yeah boy, yeah boy, yeah boy, yeah boy, yeah boy, yeah boy.
On the 4th of September 2020, we would see the Liverking for the first time ever in video. Clearly he was shredded back then, but he wasn't the size he is right now. And what's rather interesting is that he was wearing a t-shirt.
I didn't wear a shirt before social media. I didn't shave before social media. I don't brush my teeth before social, I still don't, right? And so it wasn't like, hey, let's develop this personal brand for social media.
He claims that he wasn't developing this brand for social media, but he actually wants you to believe that this character is 100% real. Yet despite the fact that in his very early videos, he did speak quite differently.
I am Brian Johnson. I am the Liverking. I'm the owner of Ancestral Supplements.
What up, primals? The name is Liverking because liver is king.
The best way to keep your teeth is to use your teeth.
Do you know how many EMF routers, modems, cell phones, and other devices that are trying to poison us?
Anyway, things were starting to fall into place and formulate the Liverking brand and character. But it would be somewhere between 2020 and 2021 where Liverking would make a connection that would change everything. Liverking enlists the help of a marketing agency called 1DS Collective to attempt to do something they had never done before: create a celebrity in 1 year. Their mission starts and instantly it's doing well. Within 2 months, he'd already hit 500,000 followers. It was very smart. He was talking often to like disaffected young men.
Right, there's so much suffer and struggle. Men today are aimlessly wondering about life with no purpose, no passion. There's no fight, there's no unite. Men today, the modern day man is officially a weak and submissive pussy.
And that your nature and your inner barbarian should be harnessed for you to be healthy and happy. All very valid and legitimate things. He built this very loyal community, like a tribe, where he would refer to his audience as primals, and anyone that wasn't in the tribe was a subprimal.
I see a bunch of fried bread, subprimal. I see some meat, partially primal. We got pizza, subprimal, subprimal, subprimal.
But pretty much right away, people in the comment section realised that something was up. By as early as the second post, nearly every single comment was on the fact that he was clearly on something to achieve his physique. Which, if it was true, would be a very clear contradiction to the ancestral natural life he was promoting. It's not like Ugg and Zug were in the cave smashing Trent, but Liverking decided to respond, claiming that the only thing he was on was liver and bone marrow. Nearly every single video he would post were dominated by these comments. Nonetheless, Liverking and his message continued to grow. His popularity soared, very quickly hitting 1 million followers on TikTok and Instagram. In no time at all, he had transformed from a nobody, skipping over the influencer stage and going straight to being a celebrity. And then Liverking started his podcast tour.
Liverking.
Thank you so much for coming on.
It's the Liverking, baby. The Liverking in the house.
He arrives on the Impulsive podcast set and makes the whole entire crew eat raw liver, which was a genius content strategy. Everyone's gonna want to watch Logan Paul eat a testicle.
Whoa.
But it would be in this podcast where we'd really see Liverking or Brian's incredible salesman tactics. At just 16 minutes in, Mike sets Liverking up for the perfect opportunity to sell his supplements.
Turn to our roots. But to George's point, is there not some sort of way, like get like a pill so they fucking just eat the pill, eat the dick pill, and not fucking have to
There's exclusive
eat that
peptides
shit.
and things that haven't. There are a lot of peptides that have been identified in the respective organs that you know you can't get anywhere else.
Brian knew how that would come off. If within 15 minutes you're already plugging some supplements, he needed to take some time to build trust and authenticity in his message and not come off like a pushy salesman. In fact, it isn't until 51 minutes into the podcast where he would finally plug his supplements.
And if you can't eat that liver, go take Ancestral Supplements liver. Go take Heart and Soil. Go put a pill down your fucking throat. Try this for a couple of weeks. If you don't feel geometrically better, then go back to fucking suffering.
But knowing full well that most people will never eat raw liver, they'll buy the supplements and then stick to them. This was genius. But you see, in all of these podcasts, there was one question that people wanted to know.
Fucking topic. Is Liverking natty?
He's doing any of that. He's got an ass full of steroids, that guy.
Why do you not tell people about your steroid usage?
Say you were on steroids.
The speculation around Liverking's steroid use wasn't just people in the comments section, but very big people in the fitness world. But there was one person who had aimed their sights directly on the Liverking, and that was More Plates, More Dates.
Guys, Derek, moreplatesmoredates.com. Today we're going to be talking about Barbarian Lad, also known as Liverking.
October 2021, just 2 months after the inception of Liverking, More Plates, More Dates releases a video titled Liverking. Regardless of this video and all the other speculation, the Liverking still claimed he was natty. And when anyone would question that, he would just troll them.
A bunch of primals keep asking if Liverking is natty or not. This is filled with maple syrup. There's nothing better than that. Liverking out.
But this was the perfect recipe. His name kept spreading. You've got this crazy, unique, charismatic guy doing insane things, but then behind all of that, you have his dirty little secret. The accusations of him using steroids arguably drove his brand more than anything else, even reaching the largest podcaster on earth, Joe Rogan.
He's jacked. Says he's clean too. I asked him about steroids.
Not true. Tell you that right now. Test that guy.
What's weird about the whole Joe Rogan thing is that the Liverking is a massive Joe Rogan fan, and so Liverking responds.
Joe Rogan said something to the effect of, I don't think he's doing any of that. He's got an ass full of steroids, that guy. Joe Rogan's also usually pretty high on his show. Like, what do you think of that comment?
First of all, I just want to say I think he's incredible. I think that I couldn't be more grateful that he's talking about me.
The accusations kept piling up.
Question number 2.
Natty or not?
Oh my God, this is ridiculous. Are you kidding me? I thought we were way past that. But for the record, it's natty, right?
But despite the accusations, business was booming. October 2nd, 2022, Liverking appears on the Iced Coffee Hour, where he comes clean about his finances.
I have these companies that are kicking ass in life. They're doing, 3 are doing $100 million a year. Right? But if we look at the money, really, money's a proxy for the value that we create in the world.
His growth soared. His followers went to nearly 6 million. And then, finally, a bombshell would detonate.
At the start of the video, I mentioned how there was some information that came across my desk that was shocking. So this is the first email, June 29th, 2021, almost 2 months before he started posting as Liverking on social media.
These emails were him trying to find someone to help him with steroids.
I've recently started taking Omnitrope. So if you guys don't know Omnitrope, this is pharmacy-grade human growth hormone, 5.8 milligram vials from Empower Pharmacy, $11,000 per month for my new dose.
And for the first time, we saw the Liverking, or Brian Johnson, being honest.
I've just hired a team to build the Liverking brand with the goal of 1 million followers by March 2022.
On top of these emails exposing the fact he was on steroids, it also showed that he wasn't sleeping very well, despite being a very strong advocate for a good night's sleep.
If you sleep like shit, and most people do, you're not going to optimize your hormones.
But to be fair to Liverking, we do see that he largely did practice what he preached. His workouts were legit, he ate an inordinate amount of raw liver and other organ meat, and he was doing all the barefoot stuff. Reading these emails, it felt as though he believed in what he was selling and the ancestral tenets, but yet the contradiction remained. He was on steroids. The day this video is released, it is instant global news. Every news outlet covered it, every YouTuber made a video on it, and so the ball was in Liverking's court to decide how to respond.
Primals, I'm making this video to apologize. Because I fucked up. Because I'm embarrassed and ashamed. Because I lied. And I misled a lot of people. And I'm here now to set the record straight. Yes, I've done steroids, and yes, I'm on steroids.
The comment section in the video didn't respond very favorably, not due to the fact that he was using steroids, that was very obvious to everyone anyway, but more so that he used the opportunity as kind of a sales pitch. He was kind of defending why he did it, kind of implying he did it for all of the young people suffering. A couple days after the video, More Plates, More Dates actually went on Joe Rogan's podcast.
He was trying really hard to get on the podcast, and he's been trying really hard to get on now. He contacted a few friends of mine, and some of them that have, like Bert Kreischer, that had him on the show.
Yeah, he told me he's trying to get on.
Yeah, for what? For what? Say that more? Like, come on, this is dumb, man. This is a fucking, you ran a con game and you got busted.
Many people are saying that this controversy is the end of the Liverking, and I just can't agree with that. I mean, just look at his Google search trends right now. Out of all these exposés, no one can argue with the Liverking's core message. No one can argue about his attitude, and no one can argue about his abilities. I mean, me personally, I have a few times bought liver because I watched the Liverking video and I thought, I should probably try liver. It is horrible, by the way. People are still going to Google liver supplements, and considering the fact that his products have 10,000 plus 5-star reviews on Amazon, Liverking achieved exactly what he wanted. And look, it's a tough one, man. To me, anyone who pushes self-improvement, getting to the gym, eating right, that's a message that I want to see out there more. The problem is he used very manipulative sales tactics to exploit a truth and then capitalize on it. He delivered good to the world in an immoral way. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel and watch this video right here.